What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and enjoying life today. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the 2025 Honda CR-V Sport Touring Hybrid. Huge thank you to Sam Rubin over at Safford Brown Honda of Arlington, Virginia for allowing me to do this video for you guys today. If you are interested in this particular CR-V or any Honda product, then I'll be sure to have Sam's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. All right, well, just like usual, first I'm going to talk about the exterior and the performance. So like I said, this is a 2025 Honda CR-V Sport Touring Hybrid, and this particular one's been painted in the $455 Platinum White Pearl. I wanted to preface this video by saying there have been no changes made to the Sport Touring Hybrid for the 2025 model year. So with that in mind, as standard with the Sport Touring, you get LED headlights with automatic high beams as well as LED daytime running lights and LED turn signals. Now, the first thing I wanted to point out is that you get some gloss black trim that separates the daytime running lights from the headlights themselves. And that kind of segues me right into the gloss black front grille with the Honda logo located at the center of the grille. Now, if you come down just a little bit, you get the satin black lower fascia, which is all of this area down here with the satin chrome accenting, and then you also get the gray front chin right down here. Now, last but not least, this one being the Sport Touring Hybrid, you get 8.2 inches of ground clearance. Now, coming on down the side, as mentioned, you get that satin black lower fascia up here at the front end. That leads into your satin black wheel arch moldings. Now, the Sport Touring gets the 19-inch gloss black wheels that are wrapped in 235/55 Continental Cross Contact LX Sport all-season tires. I'm going to give you a view of the tread pattern on these tires here as best that I can. And then, by the way, these are the only wheels you can spec the Sport Touring with. Now, I'm going to take a step back, give you a front 3/4 shot of this thing. Now, this one being the top dog CR-V, you do get rain sensing wipers as standard. And with Sport in the name, obviously you're going to get the gloss black mirror caps with integrated turn signals. And as standard, these side view mirrors are heated, manual folding, and you will find your blind spot monitoring on the upper left hand side of your driver side mirror and on the upper right hand side of your passenger side mirror. Now, I'm going to take a step back and give you a side profile shot of this thing. You may be able to tell you get a ton of gloss black accenting here on the exterior of this thing. So naturally, you're going to get the gloss black roof rails. One thing that's interesting is that you get the satin chrome window trim. I would have expected the window trim to also be gloss black, but it is a nice little breakup and there's not too much gloss black. You also get body color door handles with keyless access. Just keep in mind, however, the keyless access function is only on your front 2 door handles. The rear 2 door handles do not get the keyless access function. And then you also get the satin black door cladding found at the bottom of all of your passenger doors. Now, this being the driver's side, you also have your capless filler neck. So your fuel door is right here. You press on that and that reveals the capless filler neck. 87 octane will do you just fine. Closing that back up, coming up to here, you can see you get the body color shark fin antenna. You also get a mix of gloss black and body color for your roof spoiler. You have your integrated third brake light here. You get a rear window defroster followed by your rear wiper. LED combination taillights come standard, and here is a rear 3/4 shot of this thing. Now I'm going to take a step to the right, give you a booty shot of this thing. You can see you get a mix of chrome and satin black badging. The only satin black badge back here, I guess you would say, is the Sport badge. Now, you can see your Honda logo located at the center of your liftgate. Now, offset down and to the left, you have your backup camera. Now, this one being the fully loaded CR-V, you get the hands-free height adjustable power liftgate. So the Sport L, which is one trim level beneath this, gets the power liftgate, but it is not hands-free. So the hands-free liftgate comes with the Sport Touring Hybrid. And if you wanted to open it up, I think all you got to do is like kick underneath here, and that is how you open it up. Anyways, I'm gonna open it up myself because don't have all that much time. You can see we got a big storm brewing right over there. I want to get this part of the video done as quickly as I can. Now, in this box, I believe you have your floor mats. You also get 2 LED lights on the outsides of the trunk. You get a 12-volt power outlet on the driver's side of the trunk, followed by a grocery bag hook. You get another grocery bag hook here on the passenger side of the trunk, followed by a little storage cubby down under there, another one down under here. And if you pick this thing out, you can see you have your tire inflator kit as well as this filler right here to stick in the capless filler if you need to fill this vehicle up with fuel out of a gas tank or something like that. And then underneath all of this stuff, if you pull up on this, you get a no spare tire underneath here, but you do get a little bit of storage space. So you can see a little bit of storage space, not all that much storage space, but you can fit what you need to down in there. You know, if you need to set jumper cables or something like that back here. Also, if you wanted a little bit more storage space here in the trunk area for something large, you can push up on this, push that forward, and then you get some fold flat storage space for about an additional 4 feet of storage space with those second row seats down. And that's kind of about it for what we got going on here in the trunk area. Now, if you wanted to set the height of this thing, you could pull this down, and then once you're at the height that is an optimal height, you would press and hold on that button, and then that is how you remember, that is how the vehicle will remember the height to open up to each and every time you open up the lift gate. Now, that's kind of about it for what we got going on in the trunk area. Let's finish things off here at the rear end. I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but you do not get a spare tire. I'm going to mention it again if I already did. You also get a satin black rear bumper with 4 integrated parking sensors. You get a gray valance, which goes about right here. You also get a dual exhaust system there and there, but you can see the exhaust here on the driver's side is a faux exhaust tip. It only exits out of the passenger side. And then last but not least, all CRV hybrid models get a max tow capacity of 1,000 pounds. And that's kind of about it for the exterior of the 2025 CRV Sport Touring Hybrid. My only gripe / complaint of the Sport Touring Hybrid is that it does not have a 360-degree view camera system. Now, this one being the top dog CRV trim level, I would expect it to have a 360-degree view camera system. So I'm hoping with the next refresh, whenever that may be, that they add a 360-degree view camera system. But other than that, this is one of the most solid SUVs that you can buy on the market today. It looks fantastic, it's comfortable, it's reliable. And speaking of reliability, we might as well move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals the 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder that works with 2 electric motors. Total output is 204 horsepower and 247 pound-feet of torque. It's mated to an eCVT for a 0 to 60 time in 7.9 seconds. And if you were wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 40 miles per gallon in the city, 34 miles per gallon on the highway for 37 miles per gallon combined with all-wheel drive. Now, this one being the Sport Touring Hybrid, you get all-wheel drive as standard. If you were comparing the Sport L to the Sport Touring Hybrid, the Sport L all-wheel drive comes at an option, whereas all-wheel drive comes standard on the Sport Touring. But if you're enjoying the video so far today, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot reach my goal without your support. So if you're enjoying the video, if you've learned anything thus far, please just take a second to like, comment, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. But with that stuff out of the way, let's move into the interior. Moving on into the interior, as mentioned earlier, you get keyless access as standard. So all you have to do is have your key fob in your pocket, walk up to the vehicle, put your hand behind the door handle, and it will unlock. You can also lock it if you run your finger across those 3 little lines there, and now it is locked. This is what the key fob looks like. It's satin black with some gloss black accenting, and going over the functions on it, starting from the top, you have your lock function, your unlock function, your remote start function, your power liftgate function, and your panic function at the bottom. If you wanted to remote start this, all you have to do is lock it first, press and hold on this button, and she will fire right up. Takes a few seconds for it to fire up, but it will eventually fire up. Now let's see what the interior of this has to offer. So this particular one's been spec'd with the gray leather upholstery. If you're not a fan of the gray, they also offer a black leather upholstery at no additional cost. But taking a look at our door panel, up top here, you get some vinyl wrapping, then you get some gloss black trim, 2 memory seat adjustment settings. You have your satin chrome looking door handle there, your power side view mirror controls, your unlock and your lock functions. That is going to restrict your passenger window privileges. You get automatic up and down windows at all 4 corners, and then you get a nicely padded leather wrapped armrest with some orange accent colored stitching. You also get a little bit of storage space, a spot you could set a water bottle or 2, and this comes standard with a 12 speaker Bose sound system. So if you like listening to music, that might be a huge selling point point to the Sport Touring Hybrid. Now, this is what these front seats look like. So you can see you get the gray leather going down the center, then it is the black leather trimming, or it has black leather trimming on the outsides of the seats. One thing that I did want to point out is that with the Sport models, you do get the orange accent colored stitching. Now, as standard with this, you get a 10-way power driver seat with 2-way power lumbar and 2 memory seat adjustment settings. You also get a 4-way power front passenger seat, and as standard, these front seats are heated. But stepping on into the interior, take a listen to what it sounds like when you close the door. And now let's gain full access here into the interior. All right, now walking you throughout the entire interior, the first thing I wanted to start out is that you get the fancy Bose tweeter up top here. Then you have the front window defroster for the driver. You get the same thing over there for the front passenger. Now beneath that, you get an HVAC vent. And then that button is to open and or close your power liftgate, and that is to turn traction control on or off. Now coming to the bottom of the steering wheel, if you flip this down, that gives you access into your manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. So you can bring the steering wheel towards you, you can push it away from you, and it also moves up and down. Once you find your comfortable position, all you got to do is lock it right back into position. And now let's take a listen to the turn signal. That is what the turn signal sounds like here on the CR-V. And not only is this the turn signal control stock, it is also the high beam control stock and the headlight control stock. So first things first, the headlights are in the automatic position right now. So if I go up like that, now the headlights are off. If I flip down one, that is parking lights on. And then that is headlights in the always on position. Personally, for me, I like to leave it in the automatic position. I think the vehicle does a good job at turning the lights on and off when need be. Now zooming back out, you get a leather wrapped steering wheel. It also has some orange accent colored stitching on the inside of the steering wheel, and the Sport Touring Hybrid gives you the heated steering wheel. So if you press that button right there, that is how you turn the heated steering wheel on or off. And you can see it illuminates in amber when the steering wheel is on. But you also do get the paddle shifters here. So this is for your B mode. So basically when you go into B right there, that is like your regenerator, excuse me, your one pedal driving system. So if you click the plus, the plus arrow is less resistance when you're rolling. The minus is more resistance when you're rolling. And I will show you that when we take this thing on a drive. But now let's take a listen to the horn. That is what the horn sounds like here on the CR-V. Pretty quiet because there is a good bit of sound insulation. Now I'm just going to walk you throughout the controls here on the steering wheel. So this is to go forwards and or backwards on a track. Then you have your volume controls. The home button as well as that scroll knob here are for your TFT meter display. So basically that speedometer over there is analog. Everything to the left of the speedometer is digital, which I will get into in a minute. And then that button right there is to speak to the vehicle. You can tell the vehicle to turn the AC to 61 degrees or something like that. Now on the right hand side of the steering wheel, this thing comes standard with Honda Sensing, so you can read what Honda Sensing is on screen right now. But basically you get adaptive cruise control, you get the lane keeping assistant, you also get the road departure mitigation, collision mitigation, braking, etc. But basically this right here, see that button, that is for your lane keeping assist. And then everything else over here or all these other controls are for your adaptive cruise control system. Now as mentioned with this thing, you get the rain sensing wipers. So if you go all the way up, that is off. If you come down one, that is windshield wipers in the automatic position. Then you get just tons of adjustability here with the intensity of the wiper. So definitely appreciate that. And then that is for the rear wiper there. Now, when you spray the wipers, you can see it's not actual like spray out of like nozzles. It is actually spray out of the wipers themselves. So that is something that I also really like about the CR-V. Now, moving into our gauge cluster, as mentioned, you get the analog speedometer on the right and everything to the left is digital. So first things first, you get your digital speedometer readout. You can see right there where it says normal. That is what drive mode we are in right now. You have your drive mode selector right down here. So if I click up one, you get your sport mode, you get your normal mode, your econ mode, and your snow mode. I'm going to leave it in normal mode right now, but basically right there, it lets you know what drive mode you're in. Then that is the ambient exterior temperature. That is the odometer, the transmission status stuff, and the fuel gauge is at the bottom. Over here, that is letting us know that the Honda Sensing system is active, and then that right there is the current time. This right here is for your hybrid powertrain system. It shows you where power is coming from, which wheels are powering the vehicle, etc. As you can see, now we are in total EV mode. That like engine was basically like the generator for the rear battery pack. And then you can see right now that's letting us know that we are ready to drive. Now, if you wanted to go throughout this, screen, actually, I messed up a little bit. Basically, if I floored this vehicle, you can see that arrow right there. That arrow would come over here to 100%. So this is the power percentage. So if I give it, 50% throttle, we're going to be at 50. If I give it 25% throttle, we're going to be at 25. So this is basically, where I am using or how much power I'm using. And then let's say, we're coming to a stop in B mode. This is going to come over to here, and this is for your regenerative braking system. Now, again, to control that screen, you can go into power flow, you can go into range and fuel, you get your speed and time, your audio stuff, your phone stuff, your navigation stuff, driver attention stuff, all-wheel drive torque distribution. Then you got your seat belts, your maintenance stuff, safety support stuff, no content. So basically you can display nothing. You can also adjust the brightness of it if you click into here. So you can scroll up, you can scroll it down, and that is how you adjust the brightness of the gauge cluster and the backlit buttons. Then you get your settings, your warnings, power flow, which is what we were already on. I might as well leave it back in that. But that is basically the gist of how you use this screen. Very easy. You just get these two buttons here and it tells you what to do on the screen. Now, coming over to here, this one being the Sport Touring, you get the 9-inch infotainment system with built-in navigation and wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto connectivity. I'm going to bring us back into the Honda screen. So this is what the Honda screen looks like, but before we get into the screen itself, you get these physical controls on the left-hand side of the screen. So you get your home button, your back button, your volume control knob, and then you have these controls down here to go forwards and or backwards on a track. Now moving into the screen, up top here, this is going to bring me into my Apple CarPlay screen, or I guess it's going to bring me into my audio stuff. If I click into Apple CarPlay, that is going to bring me into my Apple CarPlay screen. But basically you can see you got your time, that is my phone connected, how much battery my phone has, how much signal my phone has. And then this is the home screen. You can see the power flow. Basically the same thing that we are looking at here on our TFT meter display is now displaying on the screen itself. I'm gonna go back. You can swipe over to here, you get your vehicle settings. I like the vehicle settings screen because it gives you the animations, like the tire pressure stuff. It basically shows you pictures of what you're trying to go into. So that makes it very, very easy. Definitely appreciate that. You also get a Wi-Fi hotspot with this vehicle built in. You get your Honda Link, smart shortcuts. You go into display mode. It's going to bring you into your night mode, your auto mode, etc. But yeah, that's basically the gist of the screen. It is a very easy to use screen. And at the bottom of the screen, you have your different shortcuts into navigation, phone, FM, Bluetooth audio, smart shortcuts, display mode. If you go into the smart shortcuts screen, basically quick access, you can read that, read that, read that, and that is what that does there. That's kind of about it for that screen. I don't feel like you need to spend too much time on it. It is easy to use. You can also go into your navigation stuff, but who uses built-in navigation nowadays with wireless CarPlay and wireless Android Auto? You could just put Waze on the screen. So that's just my personal hot take. But beneath that, you get your 2 HVAC vents. You have your hazard button. Then this thing comes standard with the dual zone automatic climate control system, temperature control, fan speed control. Click on it, it's going to turn the system on or off. Now on the outsides of this, you have your heated seat buttons. You get 3 levels of adjustability with the heated seats. It also lets you know up top there what is going on with the heated seats. Boom, 3 levels of adjustability, letting you know up top there. And then again, physical climate controls. Love the physical climate controls. I love how Honda is still doing the physical climate controls while everybody seems to be doing away with the physical climate controls. Honda, great job. My only other complaint with this vehicle is that it does not have ventilated front seats. This thing, being the top dog CRV, should absolutely have ventilated front seats. So the 2 features that this thing is missing, that are 2 very big features in my opinion, it's missing ventilated front seats and it's missing a 360-degree view camera system. Those are my 2 big complaints on the Sport Touring Hybrid. Other than that, I don't really have any complaints, but those are 2 big ones. Then this is what the backup camera looks like here on screen. You also get the parking sensors, as I mentioned. Now, down here, you get a USB-A port, you get a USB-C port, you get a 12-volt power outlet to the right of both of those. As standard with this thing, you get a wireless charging pad. This is an iPhone 14 Pro Max. It does fit in the wireless charging pad, and once the phone begins to charge, or if the phone begins to charge, we're going to get a message here on screen. You can see kind of like, looks like those Wi-Fi things, and then you also get the battery with the lightning bolt. That is where it lets you know that the phone is charging, right there. Yeah, yeah, and then you also get a little bit of storage space. You could set your sunglasses like I have. And then behind that, again, this is your drive mode selector. You have 4 drive modes. You get your sport mode, your normal mode, econ, and snow. I like to leave it in normal. This is your hill descent control, on or off. You get an electronic parking brake, and then you have your brake hold function right here. Brake hold is basically, when you click that, the vehicle will hold you in place by itself with its braking system. You do not have to have your foot on the brake, and if you wanted to go forward again, all you have to do is hit the accelerator. Very, very useful in traffic. And then you have your gear shift selector here. I'll get into B mode on the driving portion. 2 cup holders, a little bit more storage space, a leather wrapped armrest that's nicely padded, accent colored stitching, and then opening this up, you get a divider you can put up front, you can put it in the rear. You get no connectivity down in here, but I'd say it's probably 8 inches deep, followed by 10 inches this way, so quite a bit of storage space down in there. Very good amount of storage space, actually, I would say. And that's kind of about it. Now coming over to here, you get a lockable lower glove box. You get, let's see, how much storage space in here? Not very much storage space in the glove box. The owner's manual is in there. You can still fit your napkins and your straws, but it might be a tight fit because the glove box really is not that large. And then this is what the passenger side looks like. You get an auto dimming rear view mirror. Passenger and driver reading lights are both LED. This right here, when it's flush, when you open up the doors, the interior lights will turn on. If I click it to the left, when I open up the doors, the interior lights will not turn on. If I click it all the way to the right, that is the instant dome light on button. It's going to turn on the interior lights. Now, as standard with this thing, you get a power sunroof. It slides and tilts. So we're going to see how far it opens up and if we can open it up any further. So if it stops there, can we open it up anymore? Nope. All right, and then push forward, it will close back up, and I'm going to show you the tilting function. If you wanted to tilt it up like that, all you got to do is push, and then the sunroof will tilt open, and then push forward on that, and it will close right back up. You also get a spot you could set your sunglasses up top here. You get a vanity mirror with a vanity light. I would have liked to see that vanity light be LED, but it is what it is. And then you get a visor that slides in and out for when the sun is in those awkward positions. Up top here, driver gets a no poop handle, as does the front passenger, and the visor for the passenger is the same as the visor for the driver. Now, I will say I think these seats are very comfortable. Maybe they ride a touch on the firmer side, but they are very comfortable, and I could do, you know, a road trip down from Washington, D.C. down to Miami, Florida in this thing, and I would have no problem to do it. Seats are very comfortable. A couple things I wanted to say. What differentiates the Sport L from the Sport Touring include the 12-speaker Bose sound system. You also get the heated steering wheel, the hands-free liftgate, all-wheel drive as standard, and then also the Sport Touring also gets navigation, whereas the Sport L does not get the built-in navigation. That's kind of about it. Now I'm going to throw the entire window sticker on screen. You can take a look at everything that you get as standard. You can take a look at the one option that this has, which is the exterior paint color. But basically, I am just going to highlight the MSRP. So the MSRP of the way that this particular 2025 CRV Sport Touring Hybrid is spec'd is $42,605. So I think this comes in actually at a great price. You know, it does lack on the 360 cam and the ventilated front seats, but for almost $43,000, I think this is a great value for what you get. It's the fully loaded CRV, and it comes in at under $43,000. In my opinion, I think that is a great deal. But I do want to show you what we got going on in the rear seats before moving into the driving portion of the video. So let's see what we got going on back here. So again, you get automatic up and down rear windows. Let's see how far they go down. Not all the way down, but they go most of the way down. Again, automatic up, nicely padded armrest. I wish there was a little bit more padding. And then you get some accent colored stitching, a little bit of storage space, a spot you could set a water bottle, CRV lettering, and a speaker. This is what these rear seats look like. I'm gonna fold this seat back up, recline it. So you can see these seats do recline. They've got quite a bit of reclinability here. I'm gonna step into these seats. And basically up top here, you get a no poop handle, a spot you could set your dry cleaning. On that side, you get a no poop handle, but you do not get a spot you could set your dry cleaning. You also do not get a seat back pocket behind the driver's seat, but you do get one behind the passenger seat. You also get 2 HVAC vents, 2 USB-C ports. You get 2 cup holders here in your center fold down armrest, nicely padded armrest, and very good amount of reclinability. Now, if I wanted to bring it up a little bit, I would pull up on this thing right here, bring the seat forward, a touch, and now I'm no longer reclined. This would be like the normal position, but sitting behind myself, I am 5'9", and I am adjusted behind myself. I've got plenty of knee and leg room. Here's another view of the knee and leg room, and I also got plenty of headroom left over as well. So again, even me being in the second row seats, I'd still be very comfortable here on a road trip. But you know, we've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, and now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior of this thing. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So I'll see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, now onto the driving portion of the video. Take a listen. Takes bumps nicely. You know, stoplight to stoplight, stop sign to stop sign acceleration. It does not need any more power than it has. It's actually got just the right amount of power. And then one thing that is interesting is down here, you can see where it says EV. Basically, when you get that EV light down there, that's letting you know that the car is in total electric mode. The gas engine is not running at the current time. And when those EV letters go away like they just did, that means the gas-powered motor is now on. So you can see right now we're probably utilizing, I don't know, now it says we're utilizing negative power. We're now catching power, you know, with the regenerative braking system. That's why you can see right down there, it's a little bit green, and if I hit the brakes a little bit harder, you can see now it's capturing all that energy. But when I give it some gas, now we're utilizing probably 40% throttle. So that is basically, again, that's the power gauge that I was describing earlier. And now I'm going to put us here into B mode. So basically now I got my paddle shifters, right? And you can see those 3 arrows right there. I'm gonna downshift, now I got 4 arrows. I'm gonna hit that upshift button, and now I've got 1 arrow. So basically when I have 4 arrows like that, that is letting me know that I've got the full, basically resistance when I let off the throttle. So you can see now it's trying to capture as much energy as it possibly can with the regenerative braking system. So basically when I click the upshift paddle here, now I'm gonna have less resistance when I let off the throttle. So downshift, you're gonna have more resistance when you let off the throttle. Upshift, you're gonna have less resistance when you let off the throttle. So basically, if you wanna capture as much energy as possible when you are in B mode, click this thing, and you get those 4 arrows, and you'll feel like when you let off of the accelerator, it feels like you're like subtly braking. Now it's not a total 1 pedal driving system, because if it was, it would bring me to a complete stop. You know, it probably will bring me to a complete stop over, you know, a certain amount of distance, but with a true 1 pedal driving system, it will bring you to a complete stop rather quickly. Like, let's see how long it takes me to come to a complete stop. So you can see, like, it's really kind of lazy when it comes to the stopping function. But you know, it's not supposed to be a 1 pedal driving system. It's actually a pretty cool system that you can kind of adjust how much resistance you want when you let off of the pedal. So that's something that I really like, is the B mode. And honestly, you know, if I had this thing, I'd probably drive it around in B mode all the time, because there's no real reason to not, you know what I mean? You're trying to capture as much energy as you can when you're decelerating, and then you also, you know, you don't have to hit the brakes as much. So I don't know, it just takes kind of like the headache of driving out with having to, you know, gas, brake, gas, brake, gas, brake. Here's a nice little acceleration for you, and we are floored. So you can see it's got pretty decent acceleration. I mean, is it going to be the quickest thing that you've ever driven? Definitely not, but that's not the point of this thing. You know, the point of this thing is to be as fuel efficient as possible, have all-wheel drive, be reliable, be comfortable. It's not supposed to be a sport SUV, obviously, you know, that's not what it means, but it is going to give you enough passing power. You know, you might have to, you know, wind up a little bit and then try to pass somebody, but you know, it will get the job done. Again, you only have 204 horsepower and 247 pound-feet of torque, so the initial bite of that power is better than you know, the passing power, if that makes sense. So off the line, it's going to be a little bit better than it will be, you know, pulling up in the higher RPMs, because it's got more torque than it's got power. But again, this thing's all about fuel economy, and it definitely gets good fuel economy. You see the brake system? That was pretty cool. So now I have not hit the brakes yet, and we're just coming to a stop. Again, no brakes, and we're just coming to a stop. I'm just letting off of the accelerator, and now I'm hitting the brakes. So you can see it basically helps you when you're trying to slow down. and capture that energy. Now, I wanted to mention the Bose sound system, not hitting the brakes, just slowing me down to a nice speed. The Bose sound system sounds great. It is a great sounding sound system. So if you like listening to music in your vehicles, you know, obviously, you know, you might be like, you know, do I really want to spend an additional $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 just for the Bose sound system? Because the Sport Touring is the only one of these CRV trim levels that gets the Bose sound system. So, you know, that's just up to you. But if you want the fully loaded model, you're going to be happy with it. Again, my only two complaints are the lack of the ventilated seats and the lack of the 360-degree view camera system. Those are my only real complaints behind this thing, because when the electric engine and the gas, you know, it's just a seamless transition between the two. Here's another acceleration. Seamless integration between the gas engine and the electric motors. It works fantastic, and I expect nothing less than a Honda. Very, very seamless, and it's just overall a fantastic SUV. It's comfortable, reliable, looks great. You know, again, I only have two complaints. So 2 complaints on an entire vehicle is a win. I think the price is fantastic. I think this thing comes in at a great value. That's my personal opinion. You can let me know your thoughts on the price in the comments down below. But that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot reach my goal without your support. So if you enjoyed the video, if you learned anything from the video, please just take a second to like, comment, and subscribe. Those things look very good for my channel in the YouTube algorithm, and that is what helps me grow. So again, if you enjoyed, I'd appreciate it if you do those 3 things. And if you have any suggestions on vehicles that you want to see me review, let me know in the comments down below. But again, that is it for today's video. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.